So do you ever have that thought of what reason is there that I'm still waking up alive every morning? What am I meant to do in this life? Like, you're just kind of lost, you know? And, maybe, you want to know, what career you want to pursue. And, you don't know how to do a lot of things. You don't know how to do a lot of work. You ain't no Albert Einstein. You're just kind of lost, and you don't feel like you have a lot of skills, and you're just kind of stuck in a cycle of I don't know, self-deprecation, I'm too stupid for this, or I'm too ugly for that, or I'm too dumb to do this, I don't know. And, you just want to know, why am I still here? Can I just quit the game? And trust me, I've been there. I used to, let's just say I used to not feel like playing this grand game we call life anymore. And I was addicted to stuff, and my attention span was scuffed. My attention span was scuffed. I was addicted to I'm just gonna say I was addicted to porn and stuff back in the day, a few years ago. And I could not figure out why I couldn't get out of it, and at that point I just hated myself. I was insecure. I was hating on myself. I had anger issues back in the day. I was just real lazy, alright? But eventually, things started turning me towards God. My main reason for turning towards God, because I wanted to improve. I wanted to get rid of this addiction. I wanted to just get my anger on a leash. I wanted to get off my ass and work. Get myself to get off my ass and work. And guess what? It worked, you know? I'm doing good nowadays. And you're probably wondering, why, how could turning to God help you? How is God even real? And, let me ask you, how is he not? Really, how is he not real? I'm gonna tell you an analogy, which is how I believe that God is real. So, in a bakery or whatever, you got the different pastries, and you got the muffins. You may wonder how it was made, and Gotta have all these ingredients, eggs, flour, milk. I don't know how muffins are made, but you get the gist of it. It requires these ingredients, and then it requires heat in an oven to be baked. And you ask, how's the oven, or how's the muffin baked? And you know how the muffin is baked. And the baker knows how the muffin is baked. The muffin has its own laws. But then, what if you ask, how was the baker baked? And you see, it's an illogical question because the baker isn't bound by the laws of the muffin, alright? The baker doesn't need ingredients in an oven to be, it needs, the mother and father, And then you ask, how was God created? And I think that's also an illogical question because God is not bound by our laws. God created our laws. He created the concept of creation. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. We can't imagine, how he's of things that we are not of high enough intelligence to imagine. Think about, maybe, it's hard to imagine, what an image of the fourth dimension would look like, or how you would perceive it. It's real hard to imagine. Because we are not of high enough intelligence to understand that. And now imagine, a 2D being. You may think of, a 3D space and think, oh, that's super easy to imagine, and, however, there's a two-dimensional being. They cannot imagine a three-dimensional space because they are not of high enough intelligence or high enough of a dimension to imagine it. And, God's existence is something, how God exists is something that we cannot, or we are not able to figure out. We are not of high enough existence to know. You cannot scientifically prove or break down the science of how God is. It's not enough. Faith, or, growing, I'm just gonna move on to something else. So, you might wonder, how can a relationship with God improve me? How can he improve me? Does he want to improve me? Or am I just, too bad of a person for him to help me? And, you know what? God never turns away from anybody, alright? It's us that turns away from him. And he might not be, he might have his back turned on you. Does he have his back turned on him, perhaps? Basically, He's willing to give you, there's so much that he wants to give you. Alright. But you might not just be willing to let go of bad habits, bad things about you, you know? You might not be willing to follow in his ways. You're so, but you're so desperate to just improve, perhaps. And you know, when it comes to the question, could I be too bad of a person for God to not love me? And the answer is no, you can't be too bad of a person, because, you know, God, we didn't do anything to make God love us. How can we do anything to make him hate us? Like, he loves you, but he hates the bad habits. And, like, you want to know, like, oh, if God's real, then why isn't he answering my prayers? Like, because you don't have faith. If you don't believe that God has the power to do these things, and, like, you don't believe that he is real, then these things probably won't happen. And again, how is he not real, alright? He is the reason that we're on Earth today. He's the reason that we were even born. He's the reason you woke up alive this morning. Alright? He's the reason you're even watching this on that screen you have, alright? You have to believe that God has the power to do things, alright? And if you ask for things, also he might not answer prayers because you're asking for something you don't need. And like asking for the cars, the money, or the shoes, or I don't know. You might want things that the things that aren't gonna last forever, and things of this world. Like, if you ask for these things that you don't need, you're most likely not gonna get them. But God is willing to give you these things if you're willing to give him, if you're willing to improve for him. And that's what I did. I learned all of this, and then, like, I still was, like, doing kind of bad when I was getting into self-improvement content. I don't know if I mentioned this or not. But yeah, I was getting into self-improvement content to get rid of my addictions and my anger issues and other bad habits. And not a lot was working. I was trying to do it myself. Eventually, I eventually heard of others who had turned to God, and like their lives changed. They like got rid of their addictions, and like they stopped having anger issues. I heard one guy that used to be in prison, and was strung out on drugs or something. And he gave his life to God, and now he's got a place to live, and he's got food to eat, money to buy food, he got clothes to wear, all that. He gave his life to God, and God gave life to him. He started spreading the good news about God, you know, and he started loving people as he loved himself, as God loves him. And also, you gotta understand that if you want God to forgive you, you gotta forgive them. Alright? If you're not willing to forgive someone else for what they did, will God forgive you? You gotta let go of grudges, alright? I'm just running around in circles at this point, wow. Anyway, so, like, if you want to know, like, oh, will this really happen? How will you know if you don't try, huh? Just, like, and you want to know, like, how can I pray? Ask for strength, or you know, just, goodness gracious, I can't talk. Oh my. Okay, so what? I crafted another crafting table. Okay, so I gave my life, or I started trying to improve my relationship and faith in God. I realized that literally every single thing that comes my way, there's something good that's gonna come after it, alright? If something's bad happening in your life, God's either testing you, or trying to improve, or trying to improve you, or trying to just get your attention somehow, alright? Like, and you wanna, like, and, you might wonder, well, how can I give my life to God or improve my relationship with God? Well, you can start by just praying, I guess. You can start by doing that. You can start by wanting to improve for God. And, so that you can grow closer to Him, because He loves you more than anything else. He wants to grow a relationship with you. He wants to be your best friend, I guess. Kinda. And so how I pray is that, like, I basically just talk like he's a friend, you know, how I talk to anybody. I asked for strength. I asked for my family to be doing alright and my friends. And I asked for wisdom on how I could improve, as in getting rid of addictions, getting rid of anger issues, and being able to get rid of laziness. And now I believe that came in the form of the self-improvement content that I came across. Sweet. So yeah, at this point, when I started praying, I started trying to get rid of the addiction with God in mind. I started trying to get rid of my anger issues with God in mind. And I started finally doing work with God in mind. And, it actually worked, you know. But I tried countless times before to improve, but this time I had the clear reason in mind for why I wanted to improve, and that was because I wanted to go closer to God. And then, and because I had prayed for strength and put in the work to improve, it worked, because I had faith that everything was gonna be alright, because it will be. So you have to pray, and have to put in the work to improve, and have the clear reason in mind, alright? And when it comes to self-deprecating thoughts, like you wanna know, like, oh, you have like thoughts in your head like I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough for God. Says who? In reality, just says who. Alright? You can't be too bad of a person for God. And if you're like, oh well, I can't pray, I can't give my life to God, how do you know if you didn't try, huh? If you want to improve for God, you know? And if you want to know how can I improve my relationship with God, you could read the Bible. I guess, like, you just, like, pick up a Bible and just, like, start reading. Just do what I did, just get a Bible, pick it up, and just read, alright? Just read. And let me tell you, there's actually, like, some genuine life advice in there. You just gotta go find it, you know? Bible verses have genuinely helped me in my life. Like, oh, smack me on the table. Like, how can you add a single hour to the span of your life by worrying? And that's in the book of Matthew. I don't remember what verse, but it's in the book of Matthew. And if you want to know why the Bible is basically how you get to know God, alright? You know how He works, how He can work in your life, how He gives people things, how He gives people things, and how He communicates through things, how He like you'll be able to understand what God does and how He does it in your life if you read the Bible. Like, if you're wondering, goodness gracious, if you're wondering, like, If you want to know, like, where will I go when I die? Like, my goodness. Okay. And you might wonder, what was it? You might have seen the title of this video and were like, what reason was I given? I wake up alive. I'm happy that I wake up alive every morning because I can learn. I can make someone breakfast in the morning and see their smile of gratitude. I can give somebody a gift on Christmas or their birthday and make their day. I wake up alive every morning so I can use the work of somebody so they can spend time with their family again. I wake up alive every morning to help you be happy in life. Okay, finally have my stuff. Okay, so... And... I want you to know that literally, like I used to want to off myself back in the day. And now I want to do everything to live another day. I would not give up my life for anything in the world. I would give my life to God. And you can give your life to God by doing these things I do. By doing self-improvement, by doing good things for people, letting go of grudges, praying, and helping others improve and spread the good news to them. And just know that anything, every little thing, every little trial, tribulation, every little inconvenience, just know that it's happening for a reason, alright? It is happening for a reason. It is happening to improve you, to test you, or to remind you. Whatever God takes away from you, you have faith, He is willing to give it back tenfold. And even things as little as just videos that pop up on your feed. Trust me, every single one pops up with something that you could probably need now or in the future. Trust me, man. Do not take signs lightly. Do not take things for granted, alright? Just this video popping up for you, if it did, is probably a sign of some sort. So with that in mind, go out into the world, do something nice for somebody, alright? Ask God for strength to improve and ask for, you know, the wisdom, ask for peace in your heart and soul, and ask for focus, and ask for others' well-being, and let go of those grudges, alright? So yeah, trust me, if you have a single question about this, literally just comment. I will be happy to answer, alright? So, I wish you a good evening, night, day, morning, whatever the heck time it is for you. And, I'll see ya. Bye.